Well, we've seen the same kind of personal characteristics that our guys possess to win the way we won last year. So our guys have been gritty. They come to work every day. Weather's been like this virtually, the whole time we've been out here. But we just are tough. And so people have said all the time, "How are you going to repeat?" And I tell my guys all the time, you don't repeat if you talk about repeating. You do the things you need to do from a day to day to grow and to be the team that ultimately you want to be. And so I've been pleased with what we've done in the spring. There's some areas we really need to grow in. Our offensive line, we lost six-year guys, and so that's going to be the biggest challenge for us. But the young guys have done well, and we've played a lot of guys all spring. So hopefully that equates to us being a mature team in the fall.
But I'm willing to bet there might be. I mean, is there? How do you keep the same edge? I mean, because you're winning a national championship, first time there's that hunger. I mean, now you've done it. So how do you maintain that same hunger that you had last year?
Well, I don't have the greatest answer for that. But if you watch us in the weight room, then you would just say they still have it. And so I don't know why it is. I don't know. What makes our guys the way they are, but like we went straight to work, like literally straight to work, and I'll be honest with you, like our work ethic's probably been better since we won the national championship than it was the previous year. The previous year we had COVID and a lot of things to battle, but our guys have been just unbelievable in the off-season preparation, and spring ball has been the same.
Do you treat this spring any different, or is this just like every other spring you've had here?
No, it's like every other spring. Today's really the only different day because we're celebrating, with the ring ceremony and all that stuff. And so our guys are excited. They haven't seen the rings on their fingers yet. They've seen them on mine, but that's the only one they've seen it on. But so this is really the only day it's been different. We're celebrating winning the national championship, but other than that, like preparation and diligence and work ethic and all things have been the same.
Anything jump out to you about the practices you've had that you've seen this spring that you really like?
Well, we just have grown our depth. We've got a lot of good players that really haven't played yet. You're seeing some of them out here right now, and so there's some talent that haven't, the talent that hasn't had an opportunity to play. I would say this: our true freshman class. I think is really good, and so some of those guys that's redshirt freshmen will play, and then our class above that is really good, and none of them played last year either. So there's a lot of hope in regards to program growth and a lot of young talent.
I was going to say, is it hard to lift that right hand with that? Can we get a look at it?
It is. This is the only day I will wear it, but it will be worn today all day, and it is heavy. My right ring finger's crying right now, like my players cry when I run them too hard.
You talked about the offensive line when you graduate, that much experience. What is the key? How do you go about getting those guys ready? Obviously, you've got time.
Well, philosophically, Sam Parker, our O-line coach, he likes to play 10 guys, and we're probably the only team in the nation that rotates offensive linemen like people rotate, in hockey, and so we roll out in and out people, and so ultimately, like, we've had like 3 guys that are back that were part of that top 10. So, in simple terms, then they were starters. So even though we had a lot of experience, it's just plugging in a few guys, and I feel confident that we'll be able to do that. It's been really, really nice to see how much the offensive line has grown this spring.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Zane went to the NFL draft.
He did, yeah.
And he had eligibility left.
Yeah, Zane had one more year left, and he's training for the NFL and doing really well. So hopefully we wish him well.
But what does that say about your program that you guys actually have guys leaving with eligibility?
Right. It's amazing. It really is. Really, it says a lot about like our guys' just devotion to try to be the best they can be. Like Zane is a great work ethic guy, and so was all the guys that have made it in the NFL. We've got 4 or 5 of them that are currently active that are here today, and then a couple others, Vanderlaan and Lampman, who are here, who are recently active. So it's pretty cool to see them here, and it's just it's really been the culture. You know, it's been set and kind of established, and people are just determined to be the best they can be.
Coach, what does it mean to have the NFL players back here today, like Austin Edwards, Tyvier Thomas, and Vanderline, like kind of giving inspiration to the younger Bulldogs about their NFL dreams one day?
Yeah, Malik Taylor's here too. You know, it's hard to, for right now, it's hard for me to spend as much time as I want to with them, but later tonight we will. We'll be able to visit. But, you know, so I came up in the elevator with Tyvier and Austin, and it's amazing, but they're in the NFL, and Tavi was the NFL, you know, Defensive Player of the Week in the AFC one of the weeks, probably week 14 or so. But yeah, Tavi's like, oh my gosh, it's so cool to be back. This is just so great. And oh my gosh, that ring is so great. And man, we won it. And so it's just, it's incredible for them to feel that kind of allegiance to us, and still like they feel like they're still part of the team. That's what Tav said. I feel like I'm still part of the team. And I said, you are. And I said, this ring was won because of people like you. And so it's great. It's great to have them here.
Coach, also earlier in the week, we were actually doing an interview in the rain, raining very hard. How nice is it today? You're able to get through the game with pretty nice weather.
Yeah, it's starting to rain here a little bit. Is it over yet, Anthony? Yeah. It is over? Okay. So I got to hurry down and talk to the guys. But it's been really a challenging spring, but our guys don't complain. The only guy that complains is me, and I complain all the time. But other than that, we've been out virtually every day in bad weather. Hopefully May, it's beautiful, and then I'll just be every day at the golf course. Who knows?